Wolf's Bride in a nutshell. And these are the characters you can select. These are the hairstyles you can select. Oh, pretty much just one extra one from, like, you know. The breeze is cool as you run through the woods. Your muscles bunch, surge powerfully as you run, sure-footed on the forest trails. Can't get away. Gradually, you become aware of the soft pad of feet behind you, avid yellow eyes, a dark whisper of fur between the trees. The wolf is behind you now, fangs flashing wide in the moonlight. You turn, but he follows effortlessly, his movements matched perfectly to yours. Oh. You run faster, heart pounding in your chest. But are you afraid, or is it the thrill of the chase? Your pulse sleeps as you feel the wolf's hot breath on your neck. Shivers race through your body, and you know you feel what the wolf is feeling, his triumph, his excitement. You stumble as you reach the base of the waterfall. Its cool spray does nothing to control the heat inside of you. The wolf rises to his hind legs, bears you down and onto the pool as you turn to face him. It took you long enough. And suddenly the wolf is gone, body lengthening, fur melting under your hands until you are skin to skin with a man. Eyes the same golden amber as the wolves. You have a powerful magical connection to this man, so make sure you choose someone who sets your heart afire. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. Is this who you see? His eyes glow as yellow as the wolf's, and you feel his hunger. But no, it isn't for food he lusts for. At last, you're mine. The churning water laps at your thighs, and a wave of desire rushes over you, along with a fleeting thought. This is bizarre. Who even is this guy? Dimly, some parts of you know you never met this man, so why do you feel so at home in his arms? His mouth moves towards yours, golden eyes glowing with anticipation. You sit up, tearing your eyes from the mesmerizing yellow gaze. Who are you? What are you? The mouth opens as if to speak at last. Wolf's Bride, Chapter 1, Hunt's Peak. When you suddenly jerk awake with a jolt and the sound of shattering glass, you struggle to move. Acrid smoke fills your nose, and something is holding you down, pressing on your chest. You fight against it. No, get off me. Why can't I move? You've had an accident. The voice is deep, warm like the hand that comes through the window, calming and steadying you. The vision clears, recognizing slowly you're in a car crashed somewhere at the side of the wooded road. A man is opening the door to rescue you. The same man you just saw, just... Hold still. I'll get you out. His muscles strain as he yanks open the jammed door and takes your arm to help you out of the damaged car. You look at him, his eyes are normal, brown, not golden. Human eyes, but your reaction when he touches you is anything but normal. His touch feels at once electric and completely familiar, a jolt of sensation that heats your blood and sends your heart racing. Slowly the night's events come back to you. You were driving all night, coming to West Virginia to visit your mother's family in the hometown she had always forbidden you to even ask about. Was I dreaming? But how were you... His voice is calm but evasive as he shuts the car door. You must have fallen asleep at the wheel. Never mind the fact you were pinned in the car and somehow just opening a door saved your life. But why do I know you? How can you look exactly like someone from my dream? He doesn't answer, carefully walking around the car with you to take stock of the damage. You should be more careful. You could have been killed. I was driving all night. I must have been more tired than I realized. The car looks mostly intact. It seems like you veered to the side, straight into a tree. Your windshield is cracked, the driver's side door is warped, but not much other visible damage. Thank you for your help. I'm Celine. His name is... why not? Bastine. You... saved me. Are you hurt? His voice is low, gravelly, and for some reason, your heart beats faster at the sound. You stretch and twist, testing your limbs, but other than some shakiness, you seem to be okay. I think I'm alright, thank you. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been here. You look at the mist-shrouded forest and deserted road. Well, and what are you doing out here? And where is here? You should be terrified, alone in the woods with a wrecked car and a strange man whose intense gaze never leaves your own. But instead, the unexpected connections from your dreams still linger. Something deeper and stranger and more attraction. You're nearly to Hunt's Peak. Oh, good. That's where I was going. I'm visiting my uncle. But my mom left Hunt's Peak when she was a teenager, so I've never even met any of my family here. Which always seems strange to me, so I figured I'd come and see. You realize you're babbling, and it's hard to tell if it's because Bastien makes you nervous or feels so familiar that you expect him to already know everything about you. You manage to stop yourself before you say anything about the reoccurring dreams you've had about the forests of Hunt's Peak. Forests you've never seen before right now, with a strange feeling that he was in more than one of those dreams. It's a pleasure to meet you at last, Celine. At last? You know who I am? Of course. We've waited a long time for you. Your mother leaving was a great disappointment. A shiver runs through you with his quiet words. He knows your mother? How? Wow, small towns, huh? Everyone knows everyone? Something like that. You had always suspected there was more to your mom's story than just bored teenager leaves small town. And that's why you went behind her back to come all the way down here to find out what really ties you to Hunt's Peak. But whatever you were expecting, it definitely wasn't this. So, what do you know about my mom? I was very young when she left. I never met her. She doesn't know I'm here. She never wanted me to come to Hunt's Peak. Many people were hurt when she chose to leave, but they won't easily forgive her. Still, that was an entire life ago. Memories here are long. Okay. You turn back, your nose wrinkling at the smell of smoke from your engine, sour against the rich soil of the forest. I should call someone about my car. You take out your phone to call 911, but have no bars, and when you try to dial, you hear only a strange static. Damn, no signal. I guess I can try to drive? You look dubiously at the car. It seems drivable, mostly. Suddenly you hear the sound of another car on a deserted road. It slows as it approaches you and becomes aware of a strange pulling sensation, as if something in that car, someone in that car, is calling to you. Did you? You glance at Bastien, wondering if he feels it, but his eyes show nothing but suspicion as the car slows to a stop and a woman gets out. Like Bastien, this woman has a mysterious, uncanny connection to you, so you should be sure to choose someone gorgeous. Oh, man. There's number 1, number 2, and number 3. I'll go with number 1. But I wanted a big-tittied goth girl. Is this who you see? Duh. I chose her the first time. Morgan. Is this your car, miss? You need a hand. To your surprise, you feel the same spark as when you met Bastien, a lightning bolt of connection leaps from you to her, despite the dark glasses that shield her eyes. Who are you? We're fine. Some kind of park ranger or something? Morgan. I work for the forestry department. Well, Celine. Bastien takes a deliberate step forward, blocking the space between you and Morgan. His shoulders are stiff and his eyes unblinking. Go away, Morgan. You have no authority here. The stranger stiffens, jaw tightening, her head turns slightly away from Bastien. It's my job to keep these woods safe. You work for Sayri Energy and Power. Your job is to destroy the woods. I'm a researcher for SEP and a part-time ranger. Was this guy hassling you, miss? No one's going to question the fact he has no vehicle. Voice softens noticeably when talking to you instead of him, and again you can feel an unexpected frisson of pleasure at the sound. No. You'd be surprised how many vicious creatures live in these woods. You shouldn't come out here alone. I can take care of myself. I'm sure you can, but there's a line between brave and reckless. A lot of dangerous things in these woods, more than you'd think at first glance. The woods are hardly alone in that. What dangers are you hiding in town? You can practically see the hackles rise on both their necks as they face each other. Just a word of advice from someone who's lived here her whole life. Don't trust Bastien. He's a known troublemaker. If your idea of trouble is inconveniencing Sari energy. Bastien's hands are balled into fists at his sides as he tenses, looking like he wants to throw a punch. The car door opens. Behind Morgan and two men get out. Step back. We'd better not be catching you making threats against an officer of the Forest Service. Both men watch Bastien like he's a grenade that's about to explode. It's alright, Sergio Hugo. He was just leaving. She turns to you with a smile. We can give you a ride to town and call a mechanic for your car. Bastien hovers close, not quite concealing the urgency in his voice. The road goes around the mountain. It's much quicker to cut through the forest. Besides, you came here to learn about your people. This forest is your heritage. Let me show it to you while we walk. His voice drops low like a caress. Too soft for Morgan over here. There is a waterfall not far from here. The jewel of the forest, hidden from all human eyes. A waterfall? For a moment, an image from your dream flashes before you, the hidden spray of the waterfall, the wolf's body bearing you down in the lapping water. He smiles, and you suddenly know, incontrovertibly, that he knows exactly what you're thinking. Blood rises in your cheeks as he leans closer. Would you like to see it for real? How can he know what just happened in your dream? Is this why your mother clammed up every time you asked about Hunt's Peak? Is there something supernatural about this place? Go with Bastien to learn more about your family's ties to the forest and spend some alone time with him. Why not? You smile gently at Morgan. I'm sorry, but Bastien already offered to show me around a little. I would love if you could call someone to tow the car, though. The two men behind Morgan exchange a glance. But Morgan's attention never leaves you. Be careful, Celine. Bastien isn't who you think. I don't know what to think. Bastien offers you his hand and leads you onto a faint path through the trees. His palm is rough, calloused skin warm against yours. I'm glad you chose not to go straight to your uncle's. There's so much of your heritage he cannot show you. Like what? Like this. Pretty. It's beautiful, but you're not here to look at a pretty lake. You're here to find out, well, you're still not sure what, but only that there is something to find out. Close your eyes. What? Why? He silences you with a gesture. You close your eyes, finally hearing a faint peeping noise. As you open your eyes again, Bastien crouches, coming up with a little yellow bird in his hands. How did he hear that? The bird trembles in its grip, but his fingers are gentle. She fell from her nest. I can help her back up. Don't they turn against each other if they smell human on them or something? With impossible ease, Bastien cradles the bird in one hand while pulling himself into a canopy with one other arm. She will not smell human. Gently, he tips a little bird into the small nest, nearly invisible on a branch high above. As he jumps back down, you shiver. But whether it is nearness or the cloud that's passing overhead, you can't be sure. Part of you knows you should be nervous being out here alone with a man you've never met, a man who seems to know far too much about you. But curiosity drives you, much like it kills the cat. So, what is your deal?
My deal?
Yeah, the whole cryptic, I know more about you than you know about me thing, spill. He hesitates, seemingly searching for words, but his answer is still evasive.
Tell me first, why did you come home, Celine?
I don't know. It's weird. My mom always hated Huntspeak, but whenever she would talk about it, I felt a connection. I would look up pictures online and dream about them, about these woods.
And now you're here, so, what do you hope to find?
I want to learn more about my family. My mom once told me that her family had lived here for generations. She was the first one to leave.
Your family and mine share the same roots, the same connection to this land.
You'd better not be telling me we're cousins.
No, nothing like that. But we are the same people.
The fog is starting to dissipate as you come around a bend.
Are you hungry?
He stoops and comes up with a handful of dark, plump berries off of a bush. You get the feeling he's trying to change the subject, but the berries look delicious and you suddenly realize you're ravenous. Taking a berry from him, you pop it in your mouth, smiling at the explosion of sweetness. So what was my mom running away from? His reply is swallowed by the sudden overwhelming rush of water. You look up and here, your heart freezes to see the same waterfall from your dream. I know this place. How can I dream about a place I've never seen before?
As I said, this is your birthright.
But what does that even mean? You let him lead you to the edge of the pond.
The water is freezing, but on hot days I come here to swim. The falls speeding down, it can be invigorating.
You look at the water deceptively still on the end of the small pool, but churning the closer it gets to the falls. I want to stay at the water's edge. You take off your shoes and socks, dipping a toe in the chilly water. Oh, it's freezing.
Too cold for you.
You jump back as the water surges up, splashing the hem of your pants.
Oh no, I have to walk back with muddy feet. Sit for a minute. It will dry off in the sunshine.
He brushes some pine needles off a rock for you, gesturing for you to sit.
Tell me about yourself, Celine. What was your life? Your mother gave you away from Hunt's Peak.
My life was pretty boring. You know, school, Girl Scouts, camp, a couple of years at community college. Really nothing worth talking about. He settles into the moss at your feet. Despite his long limbs, he looks relaxed and comfortable on the ground.
Your life is so different than mine.
Really? My life has always been super normal.
Then perhaps it is our ideas of normal that are different.
Why? What's your normal? Because it's, if it's physically sending, or psychically, sending strangers sexy dreams to drive them off the road, and then he's right. That's pretty far from your definition. But he only smiles.
The forest, the trees, the birds. I've only had little opportunity to see what else the world contains.
You mean you never leave the forest?
I would like to hear all about your normal life, what you were like as a child, what you do every day.
All the tedious details?
All of it.
Alright, but if I bore you to tears, remember you asked for it. Despite being strangers, despite his strangeness, he is remarkably easy to talk to, and before you know it, it's already well past noon and your stomach is rumbling. You are both relaxed and sleepy in the sunshine, his head nearly resting on your knee.
We should return you to town. You still need to get your car repaired before nightfall.
Welcome to Country Roads! Bastien sees you safely to town, lingering as you text your uncle to let him know you're here. Well, I'd better,
Yes. Find your uncle.
He takes your hand in a strangely old-fashioned gesture, almost courtly, as if he's about to brush your knuckles with a kiss. But instead he squeezes gently, both of you inhaling sharply with a sense of loss as he lets it go.
I will see you again.
It's not until he disappears around the corner that you realize you never really got an answer to your question about who he is and how he knows you. But before you can go after him, you recognize your uncle hurrying towards you.
Celine. Celine, is that you?
You recognize him? Uncle Zane? You look just like how I imagined, but yet you recognize him. I'm so finally happy to meet you.
I can't believe you're really here. You can't know how long I've been waiting for this.
He folds you into an awkward hug.
I would, know you anywhere. Spitting image of your father, aren't you? But, what happened to you? You look like you've been chewed up, spit out, and left for the dogs.
You suddenly realize your clothes look exactly like you drove for 18 hours, survived a car crash, waded through a pond, and then spent several hours lying around in the woods. In case your short-term memory was somehow lacking. Crap, I just realized I left my bags in the car.
Oh yeah, I got a call from the mechanic. Said you've been in a little fender bender.
You try to brush the creases out of your clothing as you bring Zane up to speed on the past few hours.
Well, that's one part of that I can put it right, at least. Miss Sherry's right over there if you want to pick something up new to wear. I wouldn't want you to tell your mom that Hunts Peak didn't treat you right.
Yeah, well, I didn't exactly tell her where I was going.
Oh, that makes more sense. I was wondering what changed her mind.
Why? Why does she hate this place so much? Zane doesn't answer the question, picking up his pace as you follow.
Here, we'll see what Miss Cherie has got in stock.
Moments later, you've put together a chic but practical outfit. The encouragement of Zane and the saleswoman. Yes, climb every mountain. Wow, this looks great. I was hoping to get some hiking in while we're here.
You want it, it's yours. Consider an apology for missing a few decades of birthdays.
Thanks, Uncle Zane. Because you didn't get hiking in earlier.
I took the rest of the day off so we can spend some time together. What do you want to do first?
Let's round the unpromising street, which looks like something that would be paired with an article of America's Dying Heartland. Before we do anything else, we should probably figure out what's happening with my car. By the time you sort things out with the mechanic, it's almost dinner time, and Zane takes you back to his house on the outskirts of town. It's a quaint house. Were you not expecting me coming, or, like, what's up with this floor and trash bags? Which looks something like you'd see in before parts of one of those home makeover shows. The kind that, with the filthy linoleum that hasn't been changed since the 70s.
Watch yourself, let me clear somewhere to sit.
He grabs a handful of hunting rifles off the couch, oh man, carelessly tossing them onto a pile of, what might be laundry.
Supper's almost ready. You haven't lived to eaten Hunt Peak venison.
Despite the grime, you have to admit the food smells amazing, especially since your last proper meal was sometime yesterday.
So, if all your mom told you is how rotten Hunt Peak is, what made you decide to come here anyway?
I want to learn more about my family. It just seems strange, you know? Like, not to know anything. I mean, hasn't our family lived here since 1800s or something?
A lot longer, actually. Forever, you might say.
So, I just wanted to see it for myself, you know? You say nothing to him about the reoccurring dreams or the strange connection you seem to have with Bastine.
Your mom never understood you can't just turn your back on your history. I told her she couldn't keep you away. I knew you'd want to come back when the time was right.
He puts plates down on the ancient table, and you sit quietly for a few moments, savoring the first bites. So tell me about, Hunspeak. Grimacing, Zane takes a swig of beer.
I guess it doesn't look like much of a to a big city girl like you.
I mean, I wouldn't...
It's okay. It's not the town that matters, you know? It's the mountains, the woods. That's what keeps us here. Though I guess even that wasn't enough for your mom.
Why did she leave? He doesn't say anything, but you notice he's glancing at the window, as if the dark swath of trees behind the curtain as he answers.
When your mom met your dad, when she told us she was leaving to marry him, he's lucky he didn't find himself dead on the roadside.
Just because they were too young to get married?
No! Just because, never mind. You don't want to hear any of this.
And literally she's asked 12 million times. Was it something to do with, like, marrying an outsider?
Did she tell you that?
No! She tried to never talk about this place at all.
It's ancient history now. The important thing is you're back with your people.
He forces a smile.
So what do you want to do tonight?
Answer my questions, that'd be great. Are you avoiding my questions?
No, it just...
Zane doesn't meet your eyes. Tell me, what was so weird about my mom moving away to get married? Who are my people? He stands up, walking away from your angry gaze.
Not much fun for you hanging out with an old man all night. Why don't you go back in town, see if you can meet some folks your age. Bucks wouldn't be the best place, or would be for that. Got a good business going most nights. Live music and dancing.
Oh, so avoiding all night. Alright, so glad to meet my family. You're all pieces of shit. I'm leaving town. Bye. Zane won't hear any argument against him, so it's a little later, and you find yourself walking into Bucks. It's a dive bar, but at least a lively one. A young woman on a bar stool will give you a friendly once-over. Well, you look like you're new in town. You must be Celine. I'm Layla. Does everyone in this town know each other? Huh, your uncle told me you'd be heading down. Asked me to keep an eye out for you. I'm happy to meet you. Same here. We've all been curious about the prodigal daughter. Really? My mom not living next door to my parents is still news a generation later? How small is this town? You've got no idea, hon. She flicks a finger at your new vest, smiling broadly. You picked this up at Miss Cherie's. I've been staring at that vest for weeks, wishing it would fit me. Should I apologize for buying it, out from under you? Nah, you pull it off better than I ever could. She stands up from her seat, and you're surprised to see that she's pregnant. Why in the actual fuck are you surprised she's pregnant? This is weird shit, man. Who gives a flying that she's pregnant? Oh. Congratulations. She rubs her belly proudly. Thanks. Just about 6 weeks to go. I feel like a turkey waiting for the timer to pop. You look around awkwardly, not seeing any guys in the bar who look like they're staking a claim to Layla. Is the father... He lives outside of town. Oh, is that, Hart? Huh. We don't see each other every day, but when we do, we make up for it. She goes off to the dance floor in front of the pool table, throwing her big belly around with ease, but as you join her, the door to the bar suddenly slams open. A man and a woman walk in, dirty clothes, scruffy faces, and an unmistakable air of menace about them. They lock their eyes on you.
Come, it's time.
The ritual is about to start. Okay, and you are? What the... who are you? You should have known Hunspeak would just be getting weirder. Layla grips your hand. When you turn to her, she nods reassuringly. No one else in the bar seems to be acting like this is anything unusual. It's okay, just do what they say. Are you fucking for real right now? Maybe we should start this over. Hi, I'm Celine, and you are? You know who we are. No, I have no goddamn clue. No, I don't really. It's okay.
Come with us.
They're idiots, I agree. Grabs your wrist in one hand, his grip is like iron, his nails ragged and oddly long. I'm gonna fight back, cause no man can grab my ass. Barside abductions, maybe NBD Delayla, but back in Philly, there's still grounds for a fight. Reach for the first thing that comes to hand, a large mug of beer, and hurl it at the man. It connects with a satisfying crack.
Ow.
Stay away. Dash for the door, but the other woman steps between you and the only escape. I told you you weren't worth it. Or him. Desperately, you look around. Even here, they've got to have some kind of law about fire exits. Got you. As you dash for the back, the woman grabs you from behind. She is a wall of muscle. Shockingly strong, and it's impossible to get out of her vice-like embrace. She hands you off to the man who lifts you up bodily and carries you out, ignoring the kicks you rain on his legs. Put me down, you creep. You try to make eye contact with anyone in the bar, but they all turn away as if this is no more than a little argument they are politely ignoring. It doesn't really matter, you would intervene. There's a white van, oh, for the love of Christ, parked outside. The back doors thrown open reveal a few loose boxes and some tools. Put me down. You struggle and kick harder, your heel connecting painfully with the man's knee. But it's not enough to keep him from forcing you into the van. The door slams and the light cuts off as you're left alone in the back. You hear talking, hold your breath, straining to make out what they're saying.
Start the ceremony.
Only until the moon sets. There is a screech of tires, a sprawl. You sprawl against the back as the van picks up speed. Ah! You can feel, as the turn off the road, the van bouncing along on what feels like a dirt trail, gravel spraying loudly against the frame. Where the hell are we? That's your question. It's only a few minutes later that the van finally rolls to a stop and the woman opens the rear doors. I'm gonna go ahead and charge because we are literally being kidnapped. With some half-formed idea of making an escape, you leap from the van, dash forward before you realize what you're seeing. Okay, it's the woods. This is how you die. Quickly, put up a fight! You are in a clearing in the woods, large boulders arranged around it like some sort of poor man's Stonehenge. All around stand people chanting in strange guttural barks and marked with face and body paint.
Arusu.
Araha. For a moment, you think you see a golden glow in the woman's eyes like a wolf's. A fire burns in the clearing, scented with something sweet, incense or drugs. Hard to tell since the whole thing already feels like a hallucination. Celine. Bastine's gravely voice stops your words in your throat, and you turn to see him, actually, by the fire, dressed now in paints and leathers like the rest of them. Okay. And nice belt. Bastine. I guess that's it. I heard about this book. I've heard things. Again, it finally came out of VIP, didn't it? It finally came out. Oh boy, oh boy. At least chapter 1 came out, so I guess chapter 2's next week. I think this is, I'm gonna be real with you, just first of all, do what's on the screen. Be appreciated, like, share, comment, let me know what you think, and make sure to subscribe. Next up is, this is stupid. So Pixelberry is going to release this, apparently, at a VIP, one chapter at a time. So sometime next week is a chapter, then another chapter, then another chapter. I don't know how long this garbage lasts. Pretty much the rules apply to what I've been doing recently with the channel and uploading the content and then the, over mature rating crap. So pretty much if you haven't confirmed with, pretty much YouTube/Google that you are of the age of 18, or older, you should maybe do that, because you are probably not going to be able to see any of the, let's be real, adult-oriented content, because it will be flagged by YouTube, and more or less flagged by myself. So it has to be 18 and up, just saying. Without further ado, you know what to do on the screen. Thanks for watching. Peace out. God help me from this book.